Dr. Suzanne Berg was a wife, a mother, a friend, and a wonderful professor. She was an inspiration, a role model, and so much more. Many of you may have known her personally or by reputation, or may not have known her at all. Nonetheless, let it be said that Newman University and the Newman community has lost a remarkable individual.
She treated every person the same. I mean, no one was above another, and she pushed us all to be the best that she saw, even when we didn't. God shattered the mold with her.
Suzanne Berg touched many people's lives. She was very compassionate, especially for people that might, for whatever reason, be at a slight disadvantage, that she wanted to champion that cause. And I think by embodying that, she was a role model for others to be able to do that same thing.
As forward a person as Suzanne was, she was also a wonderful listener who would listen very attentively and respond thoughtfully to people. And those two things don't necessarily always go together. I mean, we have this tendency to lump ourselves as either introverts or extroverts, right? She was both, and she had the best of both things. She had a completely forward personality that was comfortable in any situation, but she also had great inner resources and great sensitivity. I never saw her treat somebody in a way that she shouldn't have treated them, and she could get exasperated with people, of course. That's natural, and a strong person will get exasperated with others. But she would always collect herself from her exasperation and forge on, and never let that be the last word in any endeavor.
I think she led by example as to what each of our lives should focus on. She really wanted to become the best person she could be so that she could back up others who maybe didn't feel as valued or didn't feel as heard or who were oppressed or overlooked. And she really did spend every single day of her life making sure that others felt included and listened to and cherished. And she looked at people as though their dignity was the most brilliant aspect about them. And that's something that can't be taken away.
She was just a caring individual overall. Like, she cared about everyone. She was just really wholesome, like a mother. She cared for us, her students, but she really cared a lot for her family. I mean, we always heard stories about her husband and her kid and the baby she was having and had.
And we always joked that, her spirit animal was Beyonce and maybe Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And I always thought, if Beyonce and Ruth Bader Ginsburg got together and created a new human, yeah, it would be the Berg. Absolutely. Wild and crazy, brilliant, intense, and committed.
This morning I had to get dressed, and I knew that I would be videotaped today to talk about Suzanne. And so I thought, well, maybe I should put on a really reputable suit. So I went and looked in my clothes closet, and I saw this guy sitting on the rack. And as soon as I saw this guy sitting on the rack, I heard Suzanne say, yes, that, you will wear that. And so what I learned from her was precisely, be who you are. Be who you are loud. Be who you are proudly. Be who you are boldly, and let other people do it too.
Dr. Berg taught me to know what I stood for and to live by that every single day. And the world can throw you in so many different directions, and there's a lot of uncertainty, but I'm always certain of what I stand for, and so that creates a sense of peace, at least in my part of the world.
And not being afraid to take on the world just full force and stand up to those who need to be stood up to, and focusing on, who I need to be and who I'm going to be for this world, and making that change through the confidence that she instilled in me. I think that's what I'm really going to take away from Newman University and from Dr. Berg's legacy and who she is.
We don't know how much time we have. So it is so important to figure out what you're passionate about, what issues you want to try and help solve during your time on this planet.
What Dr. Berg taught me in her life and even in her passing, it stuck with me, was that we can't let sadness immobilize us permanently. Take those big emotions and to harness them, to feel them, and to use those to encourage transformation of the situation, to make things better, to create a positive change.
Learning how to question everything, which is cliche but so true. She would question everything. You don't accept things at face value, and you always ask, how can I fix it? How can I fix it? Because it's another cliche, but you're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. And that's what she wanted to empower students to do, be part of the solution. That's the Transform Society aspect of the Newman mission, is passing the baton to the next generation and asking our students to go make the world a better place. For her kids, for my kids, for y'all's kids, make the world a better place.
I think she would challenge people to be themselves. I think she would challenge people to say what's in their heart and to stand up for what they believe in. And I think that I would definitely see her doing that at commencement.
I think she would want everybody to remember that life's about showing up. Life's about going all out and showing the people that you love them, caring about all the issues, making sure that everybody's involved in everything. She would want the students to know that Newman is a community and that everybody at Newman loves each other. We may not always get along, but we care.
To be authentic, and then also to remember that you can make a difference in the world. And I think that would be something she would tell the students if she were here.
Whether we are in class, at work, volunteering, at church, with friends, with family, with enemies, you have to lead by example. Words aren't always enough, and people aren't going to look back on all of your words, but they will remember the way that you made them feel and what you called them to do or what you didn't call them to do. And you have to live your life in a way that is leading other people to become their best selves.
No matter what you're doing, no matter how someone opposes you, always be kind in what you're doing, but also always be fearless. Stand up for who you are and what you want and what you think is right, even if there are 100 people that are standing up against you. Always be kind, always be fearless, and always be confident in yourself.
Your job as a graduate of Newman University is to take Newman University with you wherever you go. It's not to leave it here. To think about the things that worked here and where the ways in which while you were here you saw us living up to our mission, and to take those things out with you wherever you go and whatever you do.
And I really think that, unlike any other, she really did challenge everybody to go out there and transform society.